Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football.
Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Denver Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Cook. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20. And all the way home for a Bronco score. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And an alley to run. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They'll set up the throw. Roberts has it. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A big play there. Becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. As his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the out route. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off at the 46. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. That's his 14th interception on the season, and that number 14 ties the NFL single-season record.
Held by Dick Night Train Lane. Was that 1952?
52, more than a half-century ago.
And he's with the Rams that season, and believe it or not, it was his rookie year.
The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. They'll run on first down. It's Brown, and they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much.
And that is caught. And he has now tied the record. Touchdown. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
So after the loss of 2, here's 2nd and 12 from the 23. From the gun, Mayfield. His throw incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them, and they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. And an alley to run. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Buying time to his left. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Brown. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. T.J. Watt in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. This is Brown on the carry. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And his kick is good. And they will move up by 10. Good job defensively to hold them to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stout troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone can go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. 23 yards on the play.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the gloves?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them, don't they?
They got a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this is going to be back-to-back tackles for a loss here as the Falcons defense yet again drops him behind the line. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 21. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts. Now Mayfield lost the football. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Mayfield. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Throwing, Mayfield under pressure again, and down he goes again. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there. His his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And coming out now, the Broncos. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive is going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Mayfield uncorks one for Davis. And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 3rd and long for Mayfield.
This defense has been very disruptive.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. So we reach halftime, and what's been... All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Flush to his right. He'll have a 1st down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. He'll drop to throw. Roberts got it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. Standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point splits the uprights.
Teams always want to send messages. I think that was quite a statement there to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, less than a minute in. Already that quick, long strike. They are setting the tone for the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Now Mayfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Come on, fellas.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 38. He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point attempt to follow here.
Brandon, is there any way you and I can join this quarterback in the zone he's in? He's absolutely feeling it. Touchdown after touchdown, throwing the ball.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So the Broncos coming out now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is. And he's going to go down again.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
That's pulled in at the 32. 12 yards on the return that time. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They'll drop the throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. From a yard out, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Extra point safely through, and that will extend this big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the Falcons score to cap it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 for the 26. Mayfield looks to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means other guys on his team helped him out a lot. But they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Back to throw now on 1st down. Throw caught here by Bird. Touchdown, Falcons! A big play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. Mayfield down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
There he goes left side. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A big play there. 63 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him?
And he's into the clear. 30, 20, 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Andy Isabella. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos get one score closer. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout? He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
They'll roll him out right. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. And an alley to run. And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. so it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw here. He's got him in. Complete. Past the 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Now this throw caught left side, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record. And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field, and they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6. And they hope it'll be that easy, right, to be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield. That ball complete to Isabella. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working out of the gun. Mayfield. Throw left side complete. It's Hartman. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open. He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play. On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over. And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory for. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand. You seem a little squeamish about that last score. I struggle with it. Yeah. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them. I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff. And Denver getting set to take the field. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe.
They've got his man complete. He's at the 30, 10, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The extra point up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Defensively, there's still 3 timeouts. Do you even need to use them at this point?
I think a lot of...
And coughed it up. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Good. 180. Check. With the 9. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
One last shot for Mayfield here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive